Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Michael Chillemi, and on this episode, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a little bit of fun with this episode. So on this episode, we're gonna call it Cornfessions, the great debate, corn versus popcorn. Okay, so corn versus popcorn, are they the same thing? No one really knows. So one of my patients happened to asked me yesterday, "Hey doc, I got a question. It sounds silly, but is corn and popcorn the same thing?" And I really had to think about it for a second. Um, and I'm like, well, yes, no, maybe. So I went into a little bit of info that I knew. And I says, you know what? This is a fun topic. Summer's coming, spring's coming, corn's going to be coming out. Let's 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 get into a corntopia of corn. Okay, so for all the corn enthusiasts, welcome to Cornfessions, the podcast where we unravel the mysteries of everything corn and pop. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Michael Chillemi, and I'm going to be your humble Colonel investigator for today. And boy, do we have a juicy topic for you today. So, in this episode, the question of the day is corn and popcorn the same thing? Don't laugh. It's actually a deeper thought than you think. So, sit tight, grab some popcorn, and let's pop into this. Okay. So, what we're going to start with is the origin story of popcorn. And let's talk about corn. Corn itself is called maize, M-A-I-Z-E. It's a versatile grain that exists in many forms: sweet corn, field corn, flint corn, and the charmingly named popcorn. It is actually a type of grain, popcorn. I know, I didn't believe it either, but it's there. Okay, so when we talk about corn, let's break it down a little bit. Sweet corn, you're going to think about summer cookouts, the juicy stuff that you get on the cob, and you could put butter, although I don't, but you can. It's the sweet variety you eat either frozen or fresh. Popcorn, on the other hand, is completely unique type of corn, scientifically called Zemays everte. So ZEA, second word MAYS, next word EVERTA. That's the technical term. It's the only corn kettle that can pop. Wait, what? No other variety of corn can pop? Nope, just popcorn. Why? Okay, it all boils down to the structure and the composition of the popcorn. So the structure and the composition to fluff up into a taste bite is mind blowing, right? It is. Fun fact: the magical popping happens because popcorn kettles have a hard outer shell. And that outer shell is called a pericap. And a small bit of moisture is trapped inside the popcorn. When you heat it up, boom, magic, it pops. It's pretty crazy, right? The reason why it pops is because there is a little bit of fluid in there and it pops open. Okay, so let's get into the breakdown nutrition wise. Corn versus popcorn. Does it have any nutritional value at all? So Sweet corn and popcorn have about some similar nutritional powerhouses. Not really. Just kidding. They really don't. Okay, sweet corn has about 90 calories. It has 19 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fibers, and 3 grams of protein. It has a bunch of vitamins also packed in it, including vitamin C, folate, and some antioxidants. While on the other hand, air popped popcorn, typically 1 cup, it's going to be about 30 calories. This is plain Jane popcorn. 30 calories. It's going to be 6 carbs. It's going to be 1.2 grams of fiber, just a little bit of fiber, not a ton. 1 gram of protein. It has some minimal vitamins and minimal other nutrients. It does have some fiber benefits, but there's a great but. Once you start adding the stuff that you all put in your popcorn, whether it's the butter, the caramel, the cheese, all those great toppings that you all put on, that's where the calories start skyrocketing up. And instead of it being a low calorie treat, now it really becomes like everything else out there, fattening. So, sweet corn, on the other hand, mostly stays guilt-free. Yay for moderation. Okay, here's the big question that people have asked forever and ever. Can you digest corn or popcorn? Traditionally, it's can you digest corn? And we all know why when the next day we go to the bathroom and then we see, looks like my shirt. Okay. Okay. Corn, including popcorn, is often known for being difficult to digest due to its outer shell, known as the pericap, which is made of mostly cellulose. So cellulose is the type of fiber that humans cannot break down. We don't have the enzyme to break it down, right? So what happens when you eat corn? The digestible parts. So the outer layer of the shell of the corn generally passes through your digestive system intact. The insides of it, such as the starch and the nutrients, are pretty much digested through the body and absorbed by the body. And what happens is, as it's digested, you break down the insides of it. So the outer part, which is the cellulose layer, the outside layer, will pass right through you. This is why it can sometimes look like corn kettles remain whole when they exit your body in your other regions. However, the inner portions already have been processed during digestion. Okay. What about popcorn? Popcorn is a puffed version of corn and is really starchy inside. And it's exposed and easier to digest than typical regular corn kettles. However, the tough outer shell, if unpopped, may still resist digestion passing through your digestive system, right? So typically that will be undigested. The illusion that corn or popcorn exits your body the same way it entered due to its durability of the cellulose is why it does that. The fibrous shell can emerge looking whole and as if your body hasn't absorbed anything, but it actually has. So in sum, while parts of the corn or popcorn are digested and provided your body with some nutrients, the outer fibrous layer may not break down, and it might give you the impression that you cannot digest it, but you actually can. Okay. So segment 4, is popcorn and corn friends or rivals? That's the question. They're actually cousins, not twins, but cousins. Popcorn is a quirky snack for food for movies, while sweet corn is a delicious vegetable we bring to barbecues or toss in soups or salads. One is a nutritious meal sidekick. The other is a crunchy, guilt-free, blank slate. Or it could be the butter-coated indulgence that people do. Each has a place. But I can tell you a secret. I'll choose them both typically, right? So I typically like both. Although I'll keep mine kind of plain. Maybe a smidge of salt. Not a ton, just a smidge. Okay. Pop quiz, segment 5. Okay, listeners, here's a corny quiz for you for your next trivia night. Which type of corn can pop? A is sweet corn, B is field corn, C is flint corn, and D is popcorn. Let's see if you guys get that. Next question. How many calories are in air popcorn per cup? The choices are either A, 30, B, 60, C, 150, and D, 200. Tune in next time to get the answers to those questions. But let's think about it for a minute. I'll give you a couple seconds. I bet you can get both of them. I just said it. You heard it, right? The only type of corn that can be popped is what? Of course, popcorn. How many calories are in a cup of popcorn? Unbuttered is 30 calories. Okay. So in conclusion, while kernels that is the kernel of kernels, right? That basically wraps up our episode of Cornfessions. What do you prefer? Let us know below. Sweet corn or popcorn? Give us a shout out on social media. Tell me what your thoughts are. Shoot me a question about it. I'm always ready for corn chats. And remember, where there's corn, life is popping. Till next time, where of course, everything we do because health matters. Be well, be safe. Till next time.